What do you say there, girly? Hmm? Oh yeah. So here we have, this is a Tru-Cut reel mower. They're pretty heavy duty. This has the Honda GC 160. And this one, it's time for to sharpen the blades here. And I'll show you how to do that. And this one, it's missing the little reel chain, the drive chain. I think it's called a reel chain, but I think he said he was mowing and it slipped on him or something, and he's on a corner lot and he hit the stop sign there at the corner of his yard, and it just busted the chain. Yep, that needs to be tightened up a little bit too. Those feel okay. So I have some chain. I'll cut it down to size, and we will work on sharpening those blades. Alright, so I got this propped up a little bit. I just have it laid down on its backside, and now this reel is very tight, so whenever he hit something over here, it must have knocked the alignment out and really shoved the blade down onto your what is it, what kind of blade is that at the bottom? You can see it, and then you have your reel up here. So to adjust these, you can see there's 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3, and you've got the same thing on this side, 1, 2, and 3, and you use there is a tool that you stick in here and you can rotate this around, and going clockwise on this side, going clockwise mashes this against your blade. Counterclockwise, the same thing, just the opposite. Counterclockwise here shoves it towards the your blade at the bottom. So you can see how there's a balance there. You have to, if this side's too far down and this side's too far up, you're just going to be cutting on this one area, so you have to try to balance it out and get it even across this bottom blade. And to lap them, you put your compound on and you spin it backwards, right? And to do that, so this is in a 1/4 inch. Yeah, that's really tight. I'm going to finish loosening these up and get it spinning semi-freely, and then I'm going to put some lapping compound on it and show you, how to rotate this thing. And then I'm going to get it closer and closer to the cutting blade there. And this one, it looks like it's in mediocre. It's definitely not good shape. So it's going to take, probably 3 or 4 times to get this thing really lapped and really cutting well. Because when you're under here, you can see where this is cutting across here. So when you're done, you should be able to stick a piece of paper under here, and when you rotate it, it'll cut it like a pair of sharp scissors, right? So It's going to take a few times to get this one because I think it was knocked out of whack when he hit that when he hit the stop sign there. And I've got the chain already. You can see I bought a length of it and cut one down to size, and there's the link. So as soon as I lap this and get it all straight, then we'll put the chain on and it should be good to go. Alright, so I'm going to loosen these up. Still. Yeah, see, this side was so jammed on there. And the way I can hear it, it's still knocking here at the other end. And to get this tightened and loosened, I just use a little, you can use a screwdriver or a punch, tighten it up, see how it tightened up, or go the other way, and that really loosens it up. So I want it somewhat tight, so that while I'm lapping it, it will, can you see what I'm doing? Did I have my big head in the way? All right. So remember, you want to spin it this way, just like you're tightening the bolt. It can be kind of tricky to get it perfectly even, because, like I said, you know, you turn this counterclockwise, and then when you tighten the plate down, then it offsets it a little bit. So this one's going to be a little tricky for sure. It's 'cause I think it was knocked out of alignment there. I hope the cutting blade under here is not too worn out. But I'm going to go ahead and lap it and spin this thing a few times. So I usually don't have the specific lapping compounds for this stuff. I don't work on a whole lot of reel mowers, but I do occasionally, especially this one. I've worked on it before, and what I do for lapping compound, I have a mixture of a rubbing compound and a polishing compound. So with a lapping compound, you can purchase your specific coarseness or grit. You know, an 80, 100, 120, 180, just like you're picking out sandpaper, right? And with this one, I'm going to need like an 80 grit, because it's going to need a lot of lapping. You know, it's going to need some really coarse grit stuff, and then work my way over. But what I do, so I'm getting this rubbing compound, and it's a heavier duty, a higher, what should I say, a coarser grit rubbing compound, and I use it on automotive stuff. but then I'm mixing it with this polishing compound. Now the polishing compound is a little more porous. You can see it's much more liquid in it. Like I said, it's a polishing, so it's going to be a really high, you know, like a 180 or so, or even higher, maybe a 200. But I want it to be porous so that I can apply it with this brush. And so I just combine the two and mix them together. So now I have the porous stuff, but I have a coarser grain compound in there to get me going with this. And you can see, you know, I applied it to the blades. And you can see where it's splattering up here. I've already turned it a couple of times. Can you see what I'm doing, or am I in the way? Maybe I'll move this over a little bit for you. How about now? So that's what I'm going to be doing. And you can tell I moved the blade down already, and I'm going to keep going and going until I'm getting a really nice even pressure across the whole thing. You want it to be, picture it like a cylinder like this. You want it uniform across the whole width of it. And it could, you know, like when he broke the chain on this, it could have put everything out of whack. Or if he's cutting under here on your cutting blade, if you run across a rock or anything like that, you know, and put some chips on it, and you know, so you want to try to get rid of all that. And ideally, you want to be able to put a piece of paper or cardboard or something under here where the reel, and I'll show you that here in a second. So when your reel blade swipes across your cutting blade here, it's just going to cut a piece of paper like a sharp pair of scissors, you know. So I'm going to keep doing this. I think I'm going to switch my driver here. See how this one does. See what it looks like. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you're getting a good, yeah, it looks like it's starting to cut across here. There's still some low spots. It looks like it's getting it here. And a low spot right in here. But I'm going to keep doing it. You see what I'm trying to do. And I'm probably going to stand over to the side because this stuff is starting to sling this stuff all over me. So and what I'm also looking at, or looking for, so I'm looking for this edge, right? You can see where it's touching the edge. Looks like it's pretty uniform across there now. But also, if you can see down here where my fingers, so you want to look at this edge on your cutting blade also, and make sure you can see where it's making contact, and it's kind of getting weak over here on this side. So over here in the middle, yeah, just going to take a little more. I'm going to keep it this. I'm going to keep rotating it until I see a good uniform flat spot, so to speak. You can see it all the way up here. Then it kind of disappears here at the end, and it's kind of disappearing here on this end. So just a few more times, but basically that's it. And once you're done and you're getting a good even pressure along the whole length, then you can tighten down your ends, and be sure to wash all this off too when you're done, because when it starts to turn, right now if we say it's turning clockwise, looking at it from this end, you know, it's running backwards. Well, when you start running it normal and it's cutting, if all this stuff's still on there, then you're probably going to start dulling the blades, you know. So be sure to wash all the crap off of it after you're done. So let me do this a few more times and I'll come back in when we're done. Alright, so I've been working on this for quite a while, and I think it's still a little tight, but at least the blades have been sharpened, and it's getting a fairly even run, you know, across the whole thing. And it's so hard to get it perfect, because whenever I tighten these three, especially on this side, then it's warping in and out, and it's never getting quite there. So far this is the best I've gotten it. But what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to take this bottom cutting blade off and see if there's any imperfections on it. And because it seems like it's tighter on the ends than it was in the middle. And right now, so at least, like right there's the middle. And that's about the way it should be. I can feel it dragging across here at the bottom. But then when I reach where the blade's coming on the ends, that's where it's snagging. So I think I'll do that, but in the meantime I think I will go ahead and put this new chain on. And it's pretty self-explanatory, just it's just a bigger bicycle chain, you know. It's a number 41, and just put it around there. Here's the link, and I'm probably going to drop it here in the dirt and lose it. So here's the link, and I'll just pop it on, and I'll show you. Oop. Alright, and this is the tensioner down here at the bottom. Well, other than that's about it. I just wanted to show you how to lap these blades like that. I'm running into more problems than I was expecting, and I think it's the cutting blade underneath. I'm going to go ahead and take that off and see if it has any nicks or gouges on the ends or something that's keeping it from getting a good even cut all the way across. Right now it's cutting, but it's tight at the ends. But at least it's cutting, you know. but I think if I look at that bottom blade and hone it down or do whatever it needs to be done, then it's going to be a nice even cut all the way across. And we got the chain on there. That was pretty easy to do. But I guess this one's ready to go. You can see the only thing missing are the cover plates. There's supposed to be a cover plate here and one over the top, but they are not there. But this is where he had run into a stop sign. But I guess that's it. But anyway, thanks for watching. It was these tiller mowers, especially these Tru-Cuts, are a little different, you know, adjustability than some of the other ones I've worked with. But they're not bad, and they do give a good clean cut. But well, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next project. So I'm looking at a Tru-Cut reel mower, and it's just about time to sharpen those blades. And oh, and there's a turd.